Colonel Agents, this is Agent N107, back again with Agent WereFic's and Goddesses. We're on Chapter 4, apparently, so, because I do these almost so close together, I sometimes forget. That's just how I could do this. So, this time I actually have a well, I don't know what you would technically call it. I actually have WereWing on Skype right now, you won't hear him. Then he's gonna just help me get some of these words saying these words better, so you won't hear them. But if you sense I just did a jump cut, that's because I just spent 5 hours trying to figure out how to say a word. So let's move on. Ramsel had been trying to fly. What am I, an idiot? Ramsel had been flying for what seemed like days, though it was only hours. He had one Great, now I'm just messing up normal words now. Yay! He had one destination in mind. He traveled back to where his people used to live, prior to the migration. Years back. It was a while before he had arrived at... Oh yay. Words. Eucaria's Lake. Eucaria's Lake? I know you can hear me. Eucaria's Lake. Okay. Eucaria's Lake. And he okay, I see what you mean now. And he took the flight slowly. He took the flight slowly to reflect on the day's events. Eventually, evening had fallen. Evening had fallen, and the sky was dark. His satchel swayed at his side and thumped against him rhythmically. When he landed, he stared at the walls of his old home. The gate was told to be the... What? The gate was told to be the one place where Eucaria herself had touched to the earth, so that the birds may be born and thrive. This was his birthplace. It wasn't only kites that had shared homes here, but every kind of bird. He has one fond to his memory. Pandora the toucan. That is Pajora, isn't it? Pajoro. It's Pajoro, isn't it? It's gotta be Pajoro. Had passed away from sickness at a young age, though, and his family's moved east. He went to the home he had shared with his mother and father. It was a small hut, but could barely fit the 3 birds, but they managed. Next door was where Kyrie lived. Why? I said this word name just fine a couple episodes ago. Where Kyra lived. The thought it made Ramsel smile. They went out frequently, hunting for small creatures together, flying together. They perched on a special tree together and held claws. Aww! Ramsel flew out to the tree. It had grown since he'd last seen it, but it still had their carvings in its bark. He placed his claws on the branch and smiled. His best memories were here. He made his way back to the homes, where he began to gather more bedding. He placed all the leaves and twigs in the same place, where he and Carrie would nest together on occasion. In an abandoned old hut across the lake from where they had actually lived, he gathered enough to make the bedding comfortable. He was growing hungry, though. He would need to gather food as well. Perhaps he'll find some snakes nearby. Snakes! That's a word! They were rare in these areas, but were very filling and tasty. Okay, but were very filling and tasty. He went into the nearby woods to search. His eyes locked onto a squirrel. Locking onto his target, he darted in for the kill. No snakes, but a squirrel was still a good meal. He cleaned his beak and started to settle into his nest. He was able to rest for a minute until a sound came from outside. Is anyone there? Oh my goodness, that was a horrible, horrible voice right there. Is anyone there? Anyone there? Anyone there? Is anyone here? Why do I mess up on the really, really good stuff? It was a female voice, but it wasn't like that of any birds he knew. Thanks, Swiftclick. You now just covered up half the words. Good job. He did some. Got on Skype and now I can't see what I'm reading. He got up and stepped out the door. He flew up to see who called out. Hello? Hello? Hello, bird. I know you're here somewhere. Ramsel looked for the source of the sound, and when he found where it came from, he was rather shocked to find the cat being the caller. He swooped down and landed on a rock next to the cat. Hello? Who are you? She-Cat eyed him over carefully. He was a rather lofty bird, and could get away easily, but he didn't look like the fighting type. I saw a village a few hours back. It was completely destroyed. You were the only one. My mouse was in the way that time. And now phone call. Great. Everything's just gone horribly wrong right there. Thank you. It seems he's changing the grammar. Okay. Yours was the only trail that flew in this direction. Was I? I hadn't noticed. What brought you to follow me? I was curious, she said, sitting down. She removed metal gloves from her paws and licked at her toes. Interesting mitts. Where did you get them? From a blacksmith outside of Gatahattus. From a blacksmith outside Gatus. Talented bobcat named Sidoror. Oh, I hope we don't meet him in person, because I don't want to say his name anymore. She looked at Ramsel in the eye. He makes metal claws for anyone with enough coin. Your talons are looking pretty bare. Whoa, computer's freaking out at me. He makes metal claws for anyone with enough coin. Your talons are looking pretty bare. I prefer a knife. You mean you like the one you stabbed the hawk with? Ramsel was taken aback. He hadn't expected her to know that much. Sense don't lie, bird. What's your name, anyway? I'm Ramsel. And you are? You know I'm not gonna mess this one up. Thiliki! Pleasure to meet you! That was a weird voice for that part, but okay, we're gonna just move on. Ramsel couldn't help but smile. This Thiliki was rather charming for a cat. Seems like we've all fought some battles today, he said, looking at the marks on her head. I had a run-in with a dog. It didn't go so well. At least you still have your skin. I'm sure some couldn't say that much after meeting with a dog, the nasty brutes. Thiliki grinned. I liked you. That sounds like she's about to eat him when I say it that way. I liked you. Now I'm gonna devour your soul. I'm sorry. Here I am changing words. Here we go. I like you, Ramsel. You're alright. The kite gestured his wing towards his current lodging. Need a place to rest? I can fix a nest for you. Ramsel, I'm a cat. Cats don't use nests. She laughed and shook her head. Sure, I'll come through. Could use the rest. Okay. On to this part. So we have two characters that have met. Now we just have to wait for Mr. Oh great, now I can't say his name now. Philippians. Oh, it's not Philippians. Philemon! There it is! I see it! Now you just have to wait for Philemon to meet the other two. Perrin held his knife close by, staring at it in the dim moonlight. He was so cold without his hide, and his body was still in pain, but he felt more free than he ever had before, as though his bond to servitude was finally thrown away. At least he could keep. I don't like K's for some reason. My mouth really hates them for some odd reason. At least he could keep his tail. Philemon had long since fallen asleep, and the berries had long since been devoured. Perrin had never eaten until he was full before, and he felt as though he was bursting at the seams. He'd also never had a true friend. The other mice would disappear too quickly to really connect with. He was glad to be rid of the rodents. He was free. And that's all he ever wanted. But was he really free? He looked at his rabbit friend. Was he just under the mercy of him, as he was under the mercy of Lady Corinth? Yeah. Lady Corinth, back in the city. He would run now and never find out. And never find out. Or he would stay and wait. Or he could stay and wait. After all, it was only a matter of time until sunrise. His head churned over as the thoughts carefully. He had churned over the thoughts carefully. Wow, that was a short chapter. That was a really short one, and the only reason why it took so dang long was because I was being an idiot. So, thank you guys so much for listening, and thanks for WereWing for joining in just so I could read words. It was really helpful. And there goes Skype. Thank you guys so much for listening to me blather on like a bloody idiot. And thank you, my friend, for putting up with Skype's bull. So this is Agent N 107 signing off.